Hey there, Jane from Calamity Stampede. I've been playing with alcohol and my inks again. And you know, I took an alcohol ink class and I learned so much, and I learned that I hadn't even scratched the surface of what there is to alcohol inks. But they're kind of dangerous if you're using like the 91% isopropyl alcohol, because it's really, really bad for your body and your skin and your eye. It can absorb through everything, and it's bad for your body. So I don't happen to have any right now anyway. All I have is, you know, the 50%, and I haven't run out to buy any more. That's okay, because I'm going to use what I have. So I didn't buy anything extra. I'm using what I had in my craft room at the moment. And I love that. I love crafts that I can just do, you know, I don't have to spend a lot of money on this kind of stuff. Let me show you first what I have done. These are a few examples of some really pretty backgrounds that I've done. And this just uses photo paper, which I just had a whole bunch of. I buy it on clearance. It uses ink, and I'll show you the different kinds that I used. And it just used alcohol. Here, I'll let you zoom in on a couple of these other ones. See, all of these came from 3 colors. I only used 3 colors to create all of these. So use what you have. You know, you don't necessarily have to buy anything extra, but I'm going to show you what I use. Well, first of all, the first few that I did, I used wax paper. Wax paper is cool, and it did work, but I got better results, I think, from using this piece of gusset. It was like a gusset bag, not a gusset bag, a cellophane bag. And this is recycled. I used this was something I bought at the Unclaimed Baggage Center. And I don't throw my packaging away. I just decided to reuse the packaging. So if you have cellophane bags that you get when you buy something, don't throw them away. Use them. Okay, so I've got my table protected, and I've got my cellophane bag. You can use a baggie if you want, or you can use wax paper. Whatever you have in the house is fine. Now, I've got my Stampin Spritzer here. These are $3 for a pack of 2 through StampinUp.com. You can use, if you don't have these, or if you know you want to play with this right away and you have these ordered, you can use a hair spritzer, like a water bottle, but make sure it's set to the mist, because you want it to be a mist, and these are perfect for creating a mist. I filled this with the alcohol, the 50%, and I just grabbed, I have a whole bunch of this photo paper. I grabbed a bunch of that. Now, onto the ink. These are, and this color is particularly old. This is an old retired Marvelous Magenta Stampin' Up ink. This one is Tempting Turquoise, which is just newly retired. And this is a current one. This is So Saffron. So these are the 3 colors that I used. And as you can see, I created a lot of different colors just using those 3. I also grabbed some of my Stampin Write markers. These are the brand new ones, 2018 to 2020 in color. And I grabbed those because I really like how bright they are. I'll show you the marker technique first. Now, this is a really cool project to do with children, because they're still going to be able to use the alcohol, but it's not going to be as harmful. You still want to have, you know, ventilated area and all, just as normal, but this is just the lower, the 50% is, you know, not as bad for you. So if you have kids, grab your markers. You can use Crayola. Sharpies will probably work better than Crayola ones will. But I'm using Stampin Write, and these work beautifully. So I'm going to use the brush side. You know, Stampin Write markers come in the 2 sides, the tip, the fine tip, and the brush. I'm using the brush, and I'm just going to randomly scribble. This is why it's great. Even little kids can do this, because this does not require fire. Some alcohol projects do. This does not. I'm going to go light to dark just so that I don't corrupt my marker. So now I used the yellow just now. Now I am using the grapefruit, and I'm just randomly scribbling all over. Now I'll use my lovely lipstick. I'm just putting in random marks. There's no rhyme or reason. Now I'll use my green one, is called Call Me Clover. These just came out, so I'm still learning the names of all of our new products at Stampin' Up. And the last one we have is Blueberry Bushel. So I have randomly colored all over my cellophane, recycled cellophane bag. Okay, that's all I did. I'll put those markers aside. Now I'm going to take my alcohol spritzer and I'm just going to start spritzing and kind of saturate it up a bit. And if you want, you can kind of slide them around a little bit. They don't run a whole lot. You know, if you put more alcohol on there, they'll run more. I'm going to run them around a bit. Now I'm going to grab a piece of my photo paper. I'm just going to lay it down and press. And when I come up with will be an interesting background. And it's going to be different every time. Now you can kind of dab some more color on there if you want, and it's going to create some different effects over the top of it. I also like to take paper towel and dab, because sometimes the paper towel is going to create cool effects on top as well. So you can even dab some on like that. But I'm just going to start dabbing the remainder of this over the top, and see how it kind of gives us a ghost-like effect over it, over what was beneath it. See, that's kind of cool. So that's one technique. Very easy for children to do. To clean off my space, I'm just going to wipe it off with the paper towel. And now, look, it's clean. I'm ready to go again. So I'm going to move this one aside. Now this is the second technique. This one's my favorite. I'm going to use these 3 inks that I told you about. Stampin' Up! Sells their ink bottles for $3.75. And they come in a huge variety of colors, wide variety. So I'll put the link in the comments or in the description for the video. Now I just randomly dropped, this is the Tempting Turquoise, I randomly dropped it all over. Now I'm going to drop some of my So Saffron, random drops, doesn't matter where, just randomly all over. And some more random drops of my magenta. You can use any colors you want, it's okay. Okay, so hubby called in the middle of our video and it busted me up. So we'll start back to where we were. So I randomly dropped the 3 colors of ink onto the cellophane bag. Now I'm going to take my alcohol spritzer and I'm going to spray it generously all over. Now, you'll notice the colors are starting to run a bit. We want that. We're going to make them run. So just kind of spread it around. And they're already starting to blend a bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to grab one of my photo papers and just lay it down. Whoop! And when I pick this up, oh, that one is quite interesting.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Look at the deep, dark purples we got here. So I'm dabbing it with my paper towel. Look at those deep purples. And the more I dab, we're going to start to see that color. There we go. Now, isn't that pretty?
It's cool how the yellow and magenta turned into like a red.
It is, completely. So I'm putting that one aside. I'm going to go right next. And see, there's plenty more ink here. We don't want to waste that. I'm just going to lay this one down sideways. That's interesting. And because we have a lot of white in there, I'm just going to randomly dab a little bit here and there. And now I'm going to use, again, my paper towel to dab it. Now see, we're kind of filling in the white with some interesting little dabs of ink. And it's going to create some kind of ghostly effects on top there. Okay? Because this is pretty purple heavy, I'm going to add a little bit more yellow in here. So you can adjust any time. And a little bit more turquoise. Just a couple drops. I'm going to spritz it again. Make it run just a bit. Okay, ready to move on to the next one. So you're going to get different patterns. You can never duplicate these. They're going to be different every time you do them. That's cool. I'm just going to randomly dab it. Now I'm going to get another piece of this and start dabbing. Now look at that. Look at that one. Now, when you get a spot like this is kind of boring and plain. It didn't really... You can see I love this here, but that's kind of boring. So I'm just going to slap it. Slap, slap. slap. Ah, that's why kids love this, because you can slap stuff. Now look at there, that's more interesting. I'm even going to take it a step further and slap it 1 or 2 more times. There, see? So you can get kids to do this. There's no fire involved. And look, we still have more. So the more you do this without re-spritzing the alcohol on, the drier. See how it's going to look more dry? But that's okay because you can just keep on slapping it. Tell your kids it's okay to slap your art. Now that's more interesting. Look at that one. Much more interesting. This corner, again, kind of boring, so I'm just going to slap it down. Try to pick up some extra ink here. Now see, my ink's getting a little dry. I'm going to spritz it. Spritz, spritz. And now, when I put this over it, yep, it's starting to pick up more of the color. There we go. Isn't that cool? So now, see guys, we can use these as backgrounds on our cards or our scrapbooks. You can put these in little frames and have your kids give them as gifts for Father's Day or Mother's Day or birthdays to the grandparents or whatever. So now look at all of these gorgeous effects that we've done just with simple photo paper and our ink and simple 50% alcohol. And I know a lot of the professional ink artists, alcohol ink artists are going to go, oh, well, that's just not professional, and you know, but use what you've got. And this is definitely safer for kids to do, and you can still get some really cool effects. You know, not as much as if you use, you know, something that's non-porous, but the photo paper is still going to be really cool. I did try it with some other papers, like watercolor and all, and it just didn't create as much of a coolness factor as the photo paper did, and I love the shine of the photo paper. So here again, we've got extra ink. You can make more of these, or you can just clean it off and start again. You can use any colors that you have. So get your kids out there, start making some really cool artwork and backgrounds for your cards. And I'm going to start making these into cards for you to show you some of the different ways you can use backgrounds in your cards and in your scrapbooking. So check back soon and I'll have that ready for you. Subscribe to my videos, folks. I need more subscribers. And if you have anything you'd like to see, any techniques you'd like, give me a buzz and let me know in the comments what you would like to see. You can buy these inks and the markers at stampinup.com. If you need a demonstrator, I am H. Jane Harrington in Alabama. You can choose me as your demonstrator if you need one when you check out online. And again, these are $3.75. The markers come in a pack for $15 for these 5 colors. And there's lots of other colors too. So I'll put the link in the comments or the description. So check it out and stop back and I'll have some more fun stuff for you. See you soon. Bye-bye.